This is QTV Nightly News. I'm Mamudu Kajaga and thank you for joining us. Here are tonight's headlines. As the 2025 Hajj season officially begins this Wednesday, with all pilgrims preparing to depart Mecca to Medina, the Amirul Hajj of the Gambia has provided an update on the status of Gambian pilgrims. Barely 3 days to go before Tobaski Eid al-Adha, QTV visited livestock markets across rural Gambia and the Kanifi municipality and had ram dealers' concerns over the high cost of livestock. The University of the Gambia and partners hosted a workshop to discuss key findings from a study on the double-shifting schooling system, DSS, and its impact on learning outcomes in Gambian education. At a joint commemoration of World Tobacco and International Women's Health Day, young people have been urged to avoid smoking and other harmful practices which is detrimental to their health. At an impressive cultural event organized by Bekanyang as part of its Transitional Justice Initiative, communities from across the Gambia gathered on Saturday at Kabafita Upper and Senior Secondary School in Brikama for a day of healing, reconciliation, and cultural celebration. Those are the news headlines. Now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you for joining us. This is QTV News. As the 2025 Hajj season officially begins this Wednesday, with all pilgrims preparing to depart from Mecca to Medina, the Amirul Hajj of the Gambia has provided an update on the status of Gambian pilgrims and outlined expectations for their conduct throughout the Hajj period. Babukar Sise reports from Mecca.
For this year's Hajj, all Gambian pilgrims have been accommodated at the Nawasi Towers Hotel in Mecca. According to Al-Haji Brikama Jaju, the Amirul Hajj of the Gambia, while there were some initial complaints from the pilgrims, they have now settled in well and the situation is under control. Your family and relatives are all doing well here in Mecca. When they first arrived from Medina, there were some complaints, but I can't really blame anyone. For some, it is their first time traveling outside of their comfort zone, and for others, it is their first time interacting with such a large crowd. It's natural to feel overwhelmed and express discomfort when faced with unfamiliar situations. That said, everything is fine now. The Gambian cooks have arrived thanks to the help of the minister, and they've started working. So things are running smoothly and the earlier challenges have been resolved. The Gambia's Amirul Hajj has shared this advice for Gambian pilgrims. Pilgrims should understand that where we are heading is the place where the core rites of Hajj will take place. We are going to Mina, where pilgrims from all over the world will gather. Everyone will be dressed the same in the simple garment of Ihram. I urge all Gambians to stop complaining because the conditions are the same for everyone. Presidents, ministers, and ordinary people will all be there, side by side. Only Allah is above all. Please avoid quarreling or fighting with others. Such behavior is not acceptable during Hajj. If something happens that you don't like, be patient and remain calm. From Mina, we will move to Arafah and then to Muzdalifah, an open plain where all pilgrims will spend the night on the ground, sleeping on mats. The Nawasi Hotel Towers is currently hosting over 3,200 pilgrims, including individuals from various nationalities. It is equipped with 12 elevators to transport pilgrims across its 20 floors. According to Amirul Hajj Jaju, many Gambian pilgrims are not accustomed to using elevators, which has led to some challenges and initial complaints. The Amirul Hajj emphasized that challenges are part of the Hajj experience and overcoming them with patience brings great reward. He also called on pilgrims to avoid disputes and to represent the Gambia with dignity and good conduct. He expressed hope and prayed for the successful completion of the pilgrimage as they fulfill one of the most important obligations in Islam. Babukar Sise, QTV News, Makatul Mukarrama.
Barely 3 days to go before Tobaski Eid al-Adha, QTV visited livestock markets across rural Gambia and the Kanifing municipality. Ram dealers are raising concerns over the high cost of livestock, driven largely by the rising exchange rate of the CFA franc against the Gambian dalasi. Osman Jatta went out and about, and here is his report.
The depreciation of the Gambian dalasi continues to heavily impact the economy, and this is being felt most keenly in the run-up to Eid al-Adha, locally called Tobaski, one of the most important Islamic religious holidays. Economic analysts point to the country's heavy reliance on imports, including food, fuel and livestock, as a key driver behind the weakening of the dalasi. The sacrifice of a ram or other animal on Eid al-Adha is deeply rooted in the story of Prophet Ibrahim and his willingness to sacrifice his son Ismail as an act of obedience to God. While Ibrahim was prepared to sacrifice Ismail, God intervened at the last moment, providing a ram instead. Many Gambians are finding it increasingly difficult to afford basic necessities, let alone a Tobaski ram for sacrifice. At the Fas Njaga Choi abattoir, livestock dealers Omar Keita and Alaji Momodu Jallo shared their frustration.
We buy most of our rams from Senegal and Mali, where the CFA franc is used. Because the dalasi has weakened against the CFA, we have to spend significantly more. This is why prices are high for the buyer. I used to rear livestock myself and sell during Tobaski, but for the past 3 years, I have had to stop. The cost of buying and raising animals is just too high now. I only buy and resell days before the celebration.
Alajin Dur, the head of the abattoir at Fas Njaga Choi, highlighted another challenge: land scarcity.
Most of our traditional grazing lands have been sold off. Without enough land, rearing animals is becoming nearly impossible, especially near urban areas. We cannot produce enough livestock locally.
Over at Sare Bojo, a rural livestock hub, the situation is similar. Dealers Samba Balde and Lamin Jallo express both concern and optimism.
Business is slow, but we are hopeful things will pick up in the final days before Eid. Even though Senegal is close by, it's hard to get livestock because of the CFA rate, which is now around 630. That spike hurts our customers and our sales.
In the Kanifing municipality, livestock dealers Matar Bite and Babukar Job echoed the same sentiments.
Level business is more hard by a sell jamono be right. I guess price different last year. This year is so different.
Ram sales are higher than last year, mostly due to the CFA exchange rate. Sometimes we sell at a loss just to keep the business going.
Last year, they've done over boom, sir.
Last year was better. This year, sales are slower because prices are up. Still, we are hopeful demand will rise just before Eid.
In response to rising cost and weak dalasi, the Ministry of Trade in May announced relief for livestock dealers. GRA waived all import duties and domestic taxes. Ferry fees were cut by 50% and local councils dropped all charges. Despite these measures, dealers are calling for more support as CFA rates soar. For many buyers, Tobaski now means weighing fate against financial hardship. Osman Jatta, reporting for QTV News.
The University of the Gambia and partners hosted a workshop to discuss key findings from a study on the double-shift schooling system DSS and its impact on learning outcomes in Gambian education. Loli M. Kamara has the details.
Gathered to explore how DSS, a method to tackle overcrowding and teacher shortages by splitting the school day into 2 shifts, affects foundational and secondary education outcomes. Officials from the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, MOPSI, and the University of the Gambia expressed intentions to explore hybrid models that balance access and quality. MOPSI's Permanent Secretary Louis Moses Mendy and the UTG's Deputy Vice Chancellor Professor Kayode Adekei provided their insights on the study and suggested further directions.
We wanted to ensure that we have very sizable class, meaning a class of 25 to 35. But when we look at the feasibility of that, we realize that if that happens, there will be so many students who will be left out of school or who will not be able to have access to a teacher. So to be able to get everybody have access to a teacher, we introduce double shifting so that students all have the similar or the same or equity in terms of access to teaching and learning. It's good that the report is here. It will give us some insight. The findings will be very useful. So what will be remaining is how do we come up with other extra strategies to be able to implement what the findings are asking successfully without hurting other areas of the economy.
You see, when there is a will, there's always a way. It's for the government to be ready to say that we want to abolish this double shifting. It might not be something that we can achieve within 6 months, within a year. All right. When you look at most of the global targets, we talk about something by year 2030. Whatever outcome of this paper should not just be taken as just one publication. And that is the essence of disseminating and bringing people who are in the education corridor.
The findings indicated that while DSS negatively impacts learning outcomes, the effects are minor compared to the benefits of increased access. Importantly, students in government double-shift schools perform similarly to those in government senior secondary schools. The Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Pierre Gomez, emphasized the study's significance.
This is a major milestone. It signals our commitment to strengthening the teaching profession and ensuring that our future educators are not only qualified, but deeply prepared in content, in pedagogy, in research, and in ethics. Let today be more than a presentation of findings. Let it be a call to action. Let us use this evidence to inform real decisions, to rethink where necessary, and to act boldly in the interests of our students and our nation.
Policy recommendations include phasing out DSS in private secondary schools, exercising caution with public primary schools, offering targeted support for at-risk groups, and investing in teacher training and school infrastructure to enhance learning outcomes. For QTV News, Loliam Kamara.
We'll now go for a commercial break. When we return, we still hear about a joint commemoration of World Tobacco and International Women's Health Day, and we hear about an impressive cultural event organized by Bekanyang as part of a day of healing, reconciliation, and cultural celebration. Do stay tuned.
The future is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply. Browse Bitus. QCell brings you a promo like never before. Get unlimited internet for just $25. Yes! Recharge $25 and enjoy the convenience of free internet from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day with our Browse with Us promo. With this amazing offer, you can browse, stream, and download all your favorite movies for free. So why wait? Recharge $25 today and enjoy free internet only with QCell between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. I'm Umudu Gajaga. At a joint commemoration of World Tobacco and International Women's Health Day, young people have been urged to avoid smoking and other harmful practices that are detrimental to their health. The event was organized by the UTG Science Students Association to raise awareness of harmful practices affecting public health. Anjumane Sonyasi tells us more.
Held under the theme Unmasking the Appeal and Accelerating the Action, a dual call for health and empowerment. This joint commemoration was organized by the University of the Gambia Science Students Association and Women in STEM to celebrate the remarkable contribution of women and to raise awareness of the dangers of smoking and other harmful practices, such as drug abuse and unsafe use of alcohol. Following a brief health walk by participants and guests demonstrating the importance of regularly exercising and its impact on one's overall health. Speaking at the event, the president of the UTG Science Students Association, Mamadou Waibari and Omar Conte of Raid the Gambia, highlighted the health effects of tobacco on women and young people.
Real empowerment lies in choosing health, choosing life, and choosing freedom from addiction. We recognize the disproportionate impact that tobacco use and exposure have on women. These chewing gums are made of tobacco products and women are using it. They made perfumes that once you apply, you get addicted. They made lipsticks that is made of tobacco products. So it is our collective responsibility as young people.
Public Health Officer Baseku Sedi and Jenaba Jallo, a medical doctor at the EFSTH, delivered presentations on the importance of women's health and the urgency to combat tobacco use. They also cautioned young people against unhealthy lifestyles. Meanwhile, Ibrahima Sise, also a public health officer, and Sefo Singate, a senior program officer at the Non-Communicable Diseases Unit at the Ministry of Health, gave presentations on government interventions through tobacco control policies and challenged young people to lead the fight against tobacco use and unhealthy lifestyles by supporting ongoing advocacy campaigns.
It's not gender specific per se, but some of the health situation or condition that female are vulnerable to leads them to have hypertension, like pregnancy and menopause and using of this contraceptive.
And those of us here in the hall that have temper problems, when we go home, can we ask our mothers whether our fathers were smoking in their house while they were pregnant with us? Because smoking is also contributing to temper problems.
Fatima Jawara, Gender and Health Minister of the UTG Science Students Association, encouraged young women to take care of their health needs through regular checkups, adding that this will help improve their quality of life, thereby allowing them to contribute meaningfully to society.
We have learned that women's health is not a luxury, it is a right. And we were reminded that tobacco addiction is not a habit, it is a trend to a generation's future.
There were several other speakers, including Mohamed Ngalan, president of the UTG Student Association, and Mafanta Dabo, who all echoed remarks about the effects of tobacco use and the need to empower women. There were also poetry performances in commemoration of the day. Antoine Sonyansi for QTV News.
At an impressive cultural event organized by Bekanyang as part of its Transitional Justice Initiative, communities from across the Gambia gathered on Saturday at Kabafita Upper and Senior Secondary School in Brikama for a day-long of healing, reconciliation and cultural celebration. Our Bob attended the festival and filed this report.
In a first of its kind event in the Gambia's West Coast region, Bekanyang on Saturday hosted a cultural festival to foster reconciliation and healing. The gathering brought together more than 500 participants from the West Coast and North Bank regions, including victims of past human rights violations. The event featured traditional performances, storytelling, and community dialogues designed to promote peace, justice and accountability as part of the organization's ongoing Transitional Justice Initiative. Mfamara Jaune is the executive director of Bekanyang.
As an organization, we are committed to complementing the efforts of the Gambia government to ensure there is peace and justice in this country. We can't do it alone. We need the collaboration and support of the community members, especially the victims. And that is why, in all our activities, we prioritize the participation of the victims in whatever we are doing.
The festival served as a powerful platform for fostering unity, preserving cultural heritage, and advancing the Gambia's broader transitional justice efforts. It brought together communities from Bara, Makumbaya, Foni Sintet, Bafloto, Esau, and Jambur, encouraging dialogue and healing across regional and ethnic lines. Juliet Ubu, the project officer at the Africa Transitional Justice Legacy Fund in Ghana, and Siaka Fadera, the deputy permanent secretary at the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, both applauded the initiative, saying such cultural engagements preserve transitional values and also create safe spaces for dialogue, healing, and national cohesion in the aftermath of conflict and human rights abuses.
This for us is a moment that reflects your resilience. It also reflects how communities like yours are charting your own path towards reconciliation, healing, and unity.
This festival, which aims to promote peace, human rights, and social cohesion through social expression and community engagement, is therefore a logical extension of the very lofty and highly impressive work that your organization is already engaged in.
The Badimbung Reconciliation and Unity Festival is hoping to continue to play a vital role in promoting peace, reconciliation, and sustainable justice through community-driven efforts. As such, this first festival brought together people of diverse religious backgrounds to highlight the spiritual and cultural values often previously misunderstood or misrepresented. The event also highlighted what is described as a long-standing stigma faced by residents of Foni Sintet, who were accused of witchcraft under the former regime, an injustice that has deeply affected the lives of individuals and communities, as was revealed during the TRC hearings. For QTV News, I am Awabor.
Now to some business news. On Sunday, Armantic Quality Food signed Chef Bojang as the new ambassador for their brand, joining forces with Culinary Powerhouse to elevate their brand presence and promote quality food in the Gambia. Mam Nabuka looks at the link-up, and this is our report.
Chef Sekou Bojang is one of Gambia's top culinary figures and is known for his unique culinary style that blends traditional flavors with modern techniques to create masterful dishes. As a culinary genius, he has worked as an executive chef in 10 different countries, garnered widespread acclaim as a 6-time international award winner, and is the CEO of Spice Hub, one of Gambia's leading restaurants. Seeing his mark for excellence and quality, Armantic Quality Food saw him as a fitting representative for their brand, which has been in the Gambia for over 30 years, providing a diverse range of outstanding products to people nationwide. This signing officially brings Chef Bojang on board the Armantic team as a brand ambassador for 1 year, during which he will leverage his influence to elevate the brand status and amplify the culinary experience in the country. Here is Chef Bojang on how he feels about this signing.
My reason of accepting the brand ambassadorship for Armantic products or Armantic company is because of the trust I have in their products, the quality they provide for us, the quality of products and the diversity of the Armantic brand. And this for me is another journey. It's going to engage me in being more innovative, more creative, and in fact, more inspiring for others to learn from me.
As part of the MOU, Chef Bojang will appear in a series of promotional activities throughout the year, including cooking shows that will showcase Gambian and African cuisines, inspiring menus, billboard appearances, social media campaigns, and other promotional activities. This year-long campaign will also explore and shed light on Armanti's diverse range of household and lifestyle products, with Chef Bojang showcasing how they can be used in everyday settings from home kitchens to professional spaces. This is part of efforts to erase the belief that Armanti only produces mayonnaise, as that is what they are widely known for in the Gambia. Here is Alassana Jallo, Armanti's country manager.
Chef Sekou Bojang is a name that resonates with excellence, creativity and cultural pride. He has used his platform and talent not just to cook, but to inspire, to celebrate Gambian cuisine, to bring families together through food, and to uplift the culinary standards of the country. We see in him the same values that define Armanti: authenticity, versatility, and a strong commitment to quality. This is not just a business agreement. It's a partnership built on shared purpose and mutual respect. We are excited for what lies ahead.
As both Armanti Quality Food and Chef Bojang embark on this journey, it is expected that Armanti will make a significant impact in the competitive food market, and the sustainable use of quality food will be embedded in food spaces nationwide. Mamna Buka, reporting for QTV News.
Before we end this news bulletin, here is a recap of our main news headlines. As the 2025 Hajj season officially begins this Wednesday, with all pilgrims preparing to depart from Mecca to Mina, the Amirul Hajj of the Gambia has provided an update on the status of Gambian pilgrims. Barely 3 days to go before Tobaski, Idul Adha, QTV visited livestock markets across rural Gambia and the Kanifing municipality and had ram dealers concerned over the high cost of livestock. The University of the Gambia and partners hosted a workshop to discuss key findings from a study on the double shift schooling system DSS and its impact on learning outcomes in Gambian education. At a joint commemoration of World Tobacco and International Women's Health Day, young people have been urged to avoid smoking and other harmful practices that are detrimental to their health. At an impressive cultural event organized by Bekanyang as part of its transitional justice initiatives, communities from across the Gambia gathered on Saturday at Kabafita Upper and Senior Secondary School in Brikama for a day of healing, reconciliation and cultural celebration. That's all we have time for in this news bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. Join us again at 10 for another bulletin.